Today we're going to be smoking a pork shoulder on the Weber Kettle, and we'll be making burn ends out of this pork shoulder. Now I'm going to try to get as much fat as I can off of there. I don't take it all, I take it down quite a bit. And there's marbling and fat throughout this pork shoulder. Now this is a boneless pork shoulder. Now once we get it trimmed, we're going to season it with what is called a bone-sucking sauce. This seasoning is good. And we'll get it coated all over. Now we'll kind of roll it on the cutting board there to pick up anything that's left on the board that we can. And we'll let it rest here while we get the kettle started. Now line one side of the kettle with charcoal, making a row around one side. Not quite halfway around, but pretty close. Now we're going to put some cherry chips along the charcoal on top. And as the charcoal burns and reaches it, it'll smoke this meat. Oh, and it'll smell delicious. And we put the lighted charcoal at one end to start. And this will last 4.5 hours for the cook. And we wipe the grill with a little bit of olive oil. And we'll be using the MeatStick to monitor the internal temperature of this pork shoulder. Now we'll place the pork shoulder over the drip pan that I'd placed in there. And then we'll get this lid on there and let it smoke. Oh, that's going to be good. Well, it looks like we're running between 225 and 250. And the MeatStick Wi-Fi bridge says 57 internal, 177 ambient temperature. Now this is good. In case you have to run to the store, you can keep an eye on your temperatures, but you must have internet. And it looks like the kettle has reached about 275. And now we'll turn the pork shoulder around to get the probe away from the heat side for a more accurate ambient reading. Here it says we like about an hour and 24 minutes before we reach 170 internal. Internal temperatures at 125 and the ambient just went to 239. Now it says it's ready to come off. We had set it for 170 internal so we could take it off, take it inside and cube it up, cover it, and place it back on the kettle. Now look at that. That looks fantastic. Let's get it off of there and get it inside and get it cubed up. Now we are finished with the MeatStick, so we'll get that removed. And we'll slice it into about 1 inch thick pieces here. And then we'll cube those slices. And we'll place them in the pan. And now we're going to add a little more seasoning. And the seasoning is the same as I used earlier. Now we'll give them a toss and a mix around, or whatever you want to call it there. Make sure they all kind of coated all over. I tell you what, you can smell the seasoning and everything. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. And we'll get them covered so we can get them back on the kettle. And I'll be mixing the head country, honey, and some brown sugar together to apply to this after this has baked for about an hour. Now we'll place it back into the kettle for about an hour. Well, I think I'll turn it a little bit there. After about an hour, it's time to check these burn ends. Oh, and I tell you, they smell good. Hey, we're running around 200 degrees here, 210, 201, and some of them, they're above 200. Hey, these are ready to apply our barbecue sauce with the honey and brown sugar. And the ingredients about half a cup of barbecue sauce with 2 tablespoons of honey and about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Not shown, I poured over these burn ends, and then I take my brush and make sure they all are based with the barbecue sauce. Then we'll just leave it open and let them cook for another 20 to 30 minutes. And I'll move them around. I'm going to move them to the end nearest me, the handle there, to keep them from overcooking near the coals. Now we'll place the lid back on, and they'll be ready in no time. See, there they are. I believe they're ready. Okay, these are smelling fantastic. Hey, I believe they're ready to come off of there. We need to get them in the house. Now those look delicious. Hey, this is fantastic, and they taste delicious. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.